Hello and good evening, good afternoon, and also good morning, because I know there are so many people across the world that are watching. So we're on a different time zone, so you never know where somebody else is watching from. Uh, you might be in the USA. I don't know what time is it in the part of the USA you are, because I know the US is so huge. Again, that's why I said good morning to some of you, good evening to some of you, and also good afternoon to some of you. It's evening here in Johannesburg, South Africa. So totally different time zone here in South Africa. But thank you for joining me, guys. Every week you come across right here on Solomon's Temple where we engage, and it's wonderful to have you here. I see Lungelo from Cape Town. Hello, Lungelo. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time and just joining me. And that's Nomsa from Palaboa, all the way. Yvonne has been waiting from the USA. Thank you, guys. Evening from Clayville, Beatrice. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it, guys. Really, Kelvin from Cape Town. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Tonight is going to be a night of investigating one of Nigeria's own so-called man of God, who for me is totally a charlatan. That's what we're going to do. Mpoloka from Botswana. Rumbidzai from Limpopo. We have Hannah from Zambia. Atenkosi from the UK. Stembi So from Benoni. Bernard from Zambia. Yes. Are you in Lusaka? Victorious from the Free State. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for joining me. Alex from NYC. That is New York City in the USA. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me wherever you are tuning in from. Really appreciate it. For joining me on Solomon's Temple. Sandra from Pumalanga. Portia from Tonga. That's in the province of KZN. Tokelo from Lesotho. Ayoade from Dallas, Texas. Trevor from Botswana. Thank you, guys. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, I would want to encourage you to do that. The very easy way to do that is to actually just just search for my name. Just go to YouTube, open up YouTube, search for my name, Solomon Ashams. Solomon Ashams, you're going to see it. It's going to come out there very first. All you do is just to click on it, and then you're going to be there. Because I feel forums like this is very important, just so we can engage with each other. We can talk a whole lot on different issues. We can learn from each other. Thank you, Bongani from Nelspret. Thank you. K2 said Igwe. Well, good evening to you, K2. Bawinele Azungu from KZN. Job from Kempton Park. Okay, K2 is just from here, Cresta in Johannesburg. So thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I got ready for today. I had to do a lot of research and go check a whole lot of stuff that I have had concerning this issue. Right from I think right from about 2 years ago, you know, because I get quite a lot of information from people. And sometimes I actually forget that I got information from people. I don't go around looking for stories, to be honest with you. But people come to me because a lot of people do need help. You know, they've been abused themselves, or they've been taken advantage of, or they know somebody that are taking advantage of them, or they know a certain man of God who they worked under, who they served under, and the man of God is refusing to repent, is refusing to change. And it's a great concern for them. And it has to be a concern for each and every one of us, you know. Ava too from Pretoria West, Penny from Cape Town. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I think there is Okay, the guys on YouTube, I mean, you guys on YouTube, yeah, guys on YouTube are here too. Satanic Ritual on YouTube. Thank you, guys. Oh, YouTube is still waiting. Okay, I think something is not right. Something is not right. No wonder. I see most of the people that I have here are actually from Facebook. So I think something isn't right with the YouTube. So I think that what YouTube people, what's going to happen is after this, I'm just going to upload it for YouTube people to have a look at it, to check it out. That's what's going to happen. Most of the people here are, so I don't know what's up with YouTube. I don't know what's up on YouTube. Okay, so I think YouTube is having a bit of problem. So most of the people that are here are actually from Facebook. So I do apologize. I do apologize to the guys on YouTube. I would upload it for you guys on YouTube just so you can catch it once we finish with this. But something is definitely wrong with YouTube, but only the guys on Facebook are here. So I'm just gonna go on with the guys on Facebook, just so we can get this over with. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me tonight as we look at this issue, as we search. I think I'm just gonna tell the guys on YouTube that something is definitely wrong, and I'm gonna load it later for them to get to check it out. So give me just a minute to see if they're still there. Okay. Yeah, something is definitely wrong. All right, I see the guys on YouTube are coming back here on Facebook. Namatola is saying, "Are you not live on YouTube?" Mukololo is saying, "I usually watch on YouTube, but today is not working. Just loading. Something is definitely wrong." Okay, thanks for notifying me. Thanks for notifying me. We're gonna see how we can deal with that. How we can make sure we deal with it. But I'm gonna load this on anyway, and people are gonna watch it much later. But tonight, brothers and sisters, wherever you are checking out from, I'm gonna be talking about a man called Joshua Iginla. Joshua Iginla exposed. I've spoken about Joshua Iginla before because I received a lot of information around him. Just to give you a background, Joshua Iginla is based in Abuja, Nigeria. He runs a very big church there called Champions Assembly. Champions Assembly, and he has branches here in South Africa and also in Zambia and a couple of other places. He's very much one of the largest in Abuja. Yeah, I think he has a church congregation and a structure that seats about 80,000 people in Abuja. Very much in the media. Sometimes he gives away cars. He invites like celebrities, movie actors to come to the church, and he gives them quite a whole lot of stuff, you know. And for me, I have a problem with that when you try to invite celebrities and give them cars and all that kind of thing. For me, it shows that you just want to be in the limelight. That's what it's all about, you know. Because in a country like Nigeria, where Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world, believe it or not, there are more poor people There's more poverty in Nigeria than any other place in the world. It used to be India, but a couple of months ago, Nigeria has surpassed India and became the leading poverty country in the world, based on population and also based on how much they each family earns. So that is a big problem. So, but Joshua Iginla has been there. You know, he's been going on that side for quite a while, and he's always you know, in the news. I remember there was a couple of years ago a South African artist who was supposed to be flying to Nigeria to perform, to minister at Joshua Iginla's church because he was invited. Now he got in touch with me, a very prominent artist. I'm not going to say his name. If I say his name, you're going to know who he is. Yeah, he now asked me what I thought about Joshua Iginla because he was invited to go there and minister. And I didn't know him that much then, so I told him, look, for me, from the little that I've picked up, you know, not from anyone, but from the little that I picked up, it seems like there's you know, big problem with him. I don't want to see it as, I just feel that from what I see, from what I heard from some of his teachings, a little bit of his teachings that I heard, even though I didn't listen to a lot, I think there's a big, you know, a lot of problem around that, you know. So I told him, look, you just decide if you want to go or not, because I get pastors and artists calling me to do that sort of background check, and it's good, you know. But I definitely give them my own information, you know, and for them to decide, for them to decide what they want to do, because that is very important. So it is just one of those things that you look at and then you know what's going on and or what's not going on. So I definitely you know, observe that, and I definitely look up to that, and I understood that. So, but tonight I'm looking at his life, and I'm looking at a part of his life that has to do a lot with his marriage, that has to do a bit with his being like a sorcerer. You know, in the book of Acts, where there was this guy who had this girl who he uses to get information about what's going to happen, you know, and that's the way Joshua Iginla actually behaved, you know. So it is one of those things that we get to see. Actually, yeah, let me just finish this, and I think I know why the guys on YouTube are not able to have access to it. I think that after my broadcast with about yeah, let me just leave it there. I know why. I know why. Anyway, so Joshua Iginla recently, in the last few years, had been coming to South Africa, and he was invited and he came to South Africa, did a couple of stuff and all that kind of thing. And I know that because of that, he actually got into some sort of a trouble. There was a time that he was actually deported from South Africa. But he came, started a church. His wife is Yemisi. So I have some photos here. So yes, this is Joshua Iginla. For those of you guys who are not aware of him, this is Joshua Iginla. So he runs that church that he calls, you know, Champions Assembly, and his wife is called Yemisi. And what we're going to talk about today is his marriage to these two women. Currently, he's married to these two women. Right? Currently, he's married to these two women. On the one side is Yemisi Iginla, which is his original wife that he got married to, and they have about 4 kids. And on the other side is his mistress, side chick, and he secretly got married to her without even his church's knowledge of that. And today they have 2 kids. Even when they had the first child, nobody knew they had the first child. You know, even the church was being lied to that the father of the child is not a Christian, so he doesn't come to church. Unknown to them, to the church members, he was the main general overseer, that is the father of the child. So these 2 women, there's a lot that's been going on between them. Yemisi, the Nigerian wife, the one on the left, she actually was moved to the USA. He actually asked her to move to the US. She moved to the US, and that's where she lives now. And then Stella on the other side is here. She is from the Eastern Cape, and she is here in Johannesburg. And Iginla himself has moved from Nigeria, and he currently lives here in South Africa. He lives here in Johannesburg, in Sandton. This is where he spent most of his time. Now, this is the marriage certificate of Joshua Iginla. I'm not sure you can see it. Joshua Lasisi Iginla, that's his full name, and Yemisi, which is his Nigerian wife. This is a magistrate, a court wedding. They had it at a magistrate, and this is their certificate. Certificate of marriage, they call it in Nigeria. The date is there when they got married. They got married as, I think, Akinye Yode local government magistrate. That's where they got married. So this is the marriage, his first marriage, and everything is well documented. His first marriage, again, was to Yemisi, which is the older wife here on your left, as you can see her, but they sort of, he had wanted, from what I hear, he got to a place where obviously it looks like he has been playing around with women quite a lot. So he got to a place where he wanted to get married to another woman, and he told her, but she said no. So what we're talking about here is a man of God saying he wants to get married to another woman. A man of God, Joshua Iginla, he calls himself Brother Joshua Iginla. He's the pastor of Champion Royal Assembly. Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Njafari. Champions Royal Assembly, that's the name of the church, right? Champions Royal Assembly. That's the name of the church, right? So you get that, and you now know, again, like I said, he's been married to her, and this is the wedding, the marriage certificate. Everything is in there. Now, he told her, look, obviously a lot has been happening between them. He was in a relationship with Stella, and from the way that what I heard about Stella actually is really very there was a lot of, she had wanted to, from what I heard about her, the church that she used to go to, she had wanted to actually, get married to a man of God, be like Manfundisi and all that kind of stuff, enjoy the privileges that come with it, and all that kind of stuff. So Joshua Iginla obviously fell for that, and he's been coming here, and then, she said no. And then later, from what I hear, my investigations, he now asked her to move to the US with the kids. That's going to give them better education and all that kind of stuff. So she moved to the US. And even while she was in the US, he was part of the guys that convinced her to get married. You know, the kind of fake marriage you have in South Africa, where you get married to somebody, because you need to have a green card. You get married to somebody because you need to have a, what do you call it? You need to have a passport so you can have citizenship. And so she got married to this American guy. Now, later on, he took that and he used that against her. That's what I heard. he came out and told people she got pregnant. He's not even sure the kids are his, that she was having a relationship with other people. That's his side of the story. So there are different sides of the story. But what I'm trying to give you here is just my own investigations and what I found out. And that's what I'm trying to give you here. So we now see we now see that there's been quite a lot that's been happening even around him in the news. Let me see what I should actually, this is where he was accusing the wife of getting married in the USA. Yes, see, Iginla is married in America. That's what, so he uses, what do you call it? He uses bloggers and pushes a lot of stories towards in the media to be able to make her look like she's the bad woman. She's the one that left him. But behind the scene, even from 6 years ago, he's been in a relationship with the South African mistress, Stella. But all these things that are coming out 2 years ago, he had a child with the South African mistress from 5-6 years ago. So everything was top secret. And he never, people never really got to know about it. This is what he said to a media. Pastor Iginla, my wife was impregnated by another man. I also have a child outside. So now he's beginning to confess that his wife was impregnated by another man. He said, I also have a child outside. Now, that was when he began to come clean. But the fact is, he said his wife was impregnated by another man. So that means his wife has a child that is not his. But the problem is, he didn't show anybody. He has never spoken about any DNA test, any result of any DNA test. You see where the problem is. Obviously, he took responsibility, but he never said, he doesn't have any sort of like DNA test to show that the kids that he has with his wife, the 3 kids or so that he has with his wife, none of these kids, one of these kids or 2 of these kids are not his kids. Never. But obviously, he ran to the media and say all this because everything was coming out already. And then there's the big one that says Prophet Iginla remarries after separating from wife. Okay, when we say separating from his wife, what do we mean? The wife has been in the US for the past 2-3 years. Doesn't want her to come to Nigeria because he actually got rid of her so he can marry this South African woman. He's separating it to his wife. Is that supposed to mean they divorce? Because in Nigeria, when you say separation, it might mean divorce. And from my investigation, there's no any divorce that was granted by any court. So he marries another woman, but he's not divorced yet. So technically, what we have here, we have a Joshua Iginla, the pastor of Champions Royal Assembly. He's currently married to 2 women. He's in a polygamous relationship with 2 women. That's exactly what's been happening now. You see where the problem is? So we have this problem now, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, right? So, but he was beginning to come clean. But there's even a pastor in Nigeria, popular Lagos pastor blasts Joshua Iginla over adultery, confession, divorce with wife. So he confessed he committed adultery, but he tried to justify that his wife was the one that pushed him in there. And he said he divorced his wife. But the fact is, he hadn't divorced his wife. Because right here, I actually have the court order that he put in trying to get divorce. I have tried to reach out to Stella, the mistress. I haven't had anything. I've spoken to his wife, Yemisi. I got a lot of information. I have tried to reach out to his lawyers, his attorneys. They didn't want to give me any information. But let me play to you just audio of something that was made, you know, about what do you call it? About you know, some time ago. It was made by one of the leaders of his church, from his church, just explaining what has been happening, and this might just give you some sort of understanding.
Up to now, I'm not sure, but I read an article today, even on Facebook. It's live now, that she is pregnant with a second wife, with a second baby. I'm not sure about that, because sometimes she looks like she's pregnant, sometimes she looks like she doesn't have. So we are not sure about anything. You understand? She can't avoid it. I don't know. That one, she's a Xhosa, and she's very clever, and she can manipulate. Even if you don't want to marry her, you can marry that woman. She once told me that, you know what, if you want to handle a man, kneel down with your legs and beg him to do whatever you want to do. That is what she normally do to that man. That man doesn't have anything to do. He can't resist that woman. He can't. You know, everything that you do under the sun, God will reveal it one day. You can hide it, but you'll never hide to Jesus. I'm telling you, that guy thought he's clever. He can hide everything, sleeping around, doing whatever, manipulating people. But now it's his time now. Even though the church is not going to fall, but there will be a division in the church. I'm telling you. No, he's just confessing now because the wife in USA had blocked her, has been blocking him not to come to USA due to some certain problem after he impregnated Stella for the second time for now. And another thing, that woman, she told him that she is going to expose everything to everybody, whoever asks, because the way he's abusing him, he's abusing her, it was too much. Stella was the one who was in the eyes of everyone. When there is a program in Nigeria, she's there. The time when he was celebrating birthday, she was there. She was the one who was sitting in front. What's the meaning of that? What will he tell people that who is Stella? Now he anointed Stella in Nigeria this year. Is it like this year or last year, November? It's very painful, because even the wife don't even go to the birthday party. You know, it was something that I will never discuss this with anyone, even though I got it early 2017, that these people are dating. The way when we are going to different crusade or different programs, they will be traveling together. Everything that they will be doing together. It was boring. You see the photos of her where Papa is living. What's the meaning of that? It means that there's something that they're doing. You understand? And the child also. If you ask the child, what's your name? She will tell you, my name is Rema Iginla. What's the meaning of that? He was thinking that he will come to South Africa to be full-time in South Africa, then go to Nigeria some other times. The problem now, South Africa is no longer the same South Africa like before. People in South Africa, they're becoming clever now, because most of the people, they are manipulating them in a wrong way. You understand? So even her, Stella, I think she can't go and stay in Nigeria. People from Nigeria, do you think they will understand her? Who does she think she is? After 4 years of marriage with that guy, now they want to rob us and say they're getting married now. It's very wrong.
All right. So just some sort of info from one of the leaders who was very close to them, and just emphasizing on that, the fact that they've actually had kids together, and now you're coming out. Now you're trying to blame your wife and say, no, your wife is the cause of everything and all that. Whatever happened between Joshua Iginla and his first wife, Yemisi, that's between them. But what he did was, you know, totally, I actually have this scripture here that I said to share with us. It's scripture from 1 Timothy 3:2 that said, therefore, an overseer must be above reproach, the husband of one wife, sober-minded, self-controlled, not a lover of money. Therefore, an overseer must be above reproach, the husband of one wife. But this man is currently married to 2 women. I've showed you the marriage certificate between him and his first wife, right? I did that. I showed you his marriage certificate between him and his first wife. So, but then there is also the details. These are details. I'm not sure you can see this very well. These are details of Stella Iginla's about you know, all her details is there. Her surname is Iginla, right? And guess what? When this was done in 2014. So they officially got married in 2014. Her name is there, Iginla Zimasa Stella Ndamas. She was born in 1987. Everything is there, and then there's a language, and then okay, marital status. Look at the marital status there. It says married on 2014 10/2. So the 2nd of October 2014, that was when they got married. Civil marriage. And the husband, the spouse, the husband was born in 1970, and the maiden surname of spouse, Joshua Lasisi. You see it there. Joshua Lasisi. Joshua Lasisi. That's his maiden surname. So they got married in October of 2014. Everything is here, guys. But it was only last year that he came out, all this while, and they also have a child together. This is them, and that is their first child. 2014. And Iginla only started talking about this last year, that his wife is giving him problems and now he wants to marry another woman. But all this while, he's been having an affair with her. She's been his side chick. All this while, she just gave back, actually last year, is it last year? Last year, she gave back to a second baby. So they have 2 kids together. Again, the scripture I read from 1 Timothy, a husband and one wife. And you can see the proof here that they've been married from 2014, the 10th of October, the 2nd of October, 2014. The name of the spouse, Joshua Lasisi, is there. Her name is there. So you see it for yourself. And then he said, no, he's divorced his wife, or his wife left him for another man and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the truth. I spoke to his wife and she told me something totally different. And actually, this is the court, the notice of petition from the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, Nigeria, between Mr. Joshua Iginla Lasisi, he is the one petitioning, and Mrs. Oluyemisi Joshua Iginla, she's the first respondent, and Omar Johnson, who even Joshua Iginla himself encouraged her and push her to arrange a marriage with this American guy so they can stay in the US. So, I mean, both of them, all of them are wrong. You can't go into an arranged marriage. I wonder why she agreed on that. She was very wrong there. And then also, you can see more information here. This is the motion, which was the court order between Mr. Joshua Iginla Lasisi, he's the one petitioning, and Mrs. Oluyemisi Joshua Iginla. She is the respondent. in the High Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Abuja on the 26th of March 2019, just last year. But from 2014, he's been married to Stella. He's been married to this woman, but never told anyone. Never told anyone. They even have 2 kids. This is one of the kids here celebrating his birthday. So, he got married to Yemisi about 13 years ago in a court. And then here, South African document shows that he got married to Stella on the 2nd of October, 2014. And you know what that is, guys? That is a crime in South Africa constitutionally. You can get married traditionally to as many women as you want. That's fine. But when it comes to civil marriage constitutionally in South Africa doesn't allow you to get married to 2 women. When you're married to one, you have to divorce one before you marry another. So the guy has actually been living a crime in South Africa. A man of God, he calls himself. Champions Royal Assembly. And he's coming to South Africa because the Bushiri and all these guys have been having a field day, and he wants a piece of the pie here. That's where the problem is. And then she came into the picture. She's the way she lives now. She lives, of course, like Manfundisi, like the pastor's wife. That's what she wants. To be served, all expensive. This is her ID. You can see it there, and you can match that with the other information I gave you when it comes to their marriage, and see all the details that she has here is in there, just so you know that it wasn't something that was cooked up. It was something that was extracted based on investigation. I'm doing all this because just yesterday, this was them yesterday in the church in Nigeria. He officially introduced her as his wife. So Yemisi, who is in the US, is totally out of the picture, and he introduced her as his wife officially. And that's what he wanted all this while. You see him sitting there laughing. Both of them. They're crooks, they're sinners. And just to bring you in and fill you in, this is the same man who uses witchcraft in the church, who goes to visit a babalao, we call it in Nigeria, a witch doctor. You know, and he gets evil powers. This is the same man who uses the same Stella you see sitting close to him and other women. He used them to tell him information about what's going to happen in the church, to prophesy through the evil spirit. You remember in the book of Acts, where this guy who has this girl who he uses to tell the future. It doesn't mean it's from God. And there are audios. I was actually looking for the audios that he actually did that to play for you, but I couldn't just find the audios. Same man, bringing witchcraft into the church. This same man with other of his pastors, even his former pastor in Zambia, the same thing he did to the wife. Had a relationship with her. And then allegedly came back and using her to prophesy. So we're talking about a man who is just totally evil and totally doesn't keep to the scripture that I I had read earlier on, which is 1 Timothy 3:2. Therefore, an overseer. Who is an overseer? You oversee a pastor, a church, you oversee a congregation, you oversee a flock. You are a shepherd. So here he's saying, therefore, an overseer must be above a reproach. When you're above reproach, that means we shouldn't find things that we should correct over and over about you. The husband of one wife. He's not a husband of one wife. Sober-minded. I don't see that. Self-control. No, he's not. Sexually, he's not. He doesn't have control. And not a lover of money. I don't see that, because he uses this woman, some of these women in his life, to be able to get information, predict the future, know what's going to happen to a leader, and put them out there. That's what he does. That's what he does. You know, this man uses quite a lot of the way he uses witchcraft on women, where he would begin to extract information. I want to read to you a scripture from Acts 16:16. It says, once when we were going to a place of prayer, we were met by a female slave who had a spirit which she predicted the future. She earned a great deal of money for her owners by fortune telling. And that's what he does, fortune teller. And he uses women to, you know, to tell him about the future. Is that supposed to mean it's from God? No. This is Acts 16:16. It's not from God at all. Now, I want to read to you some of the court order, the one that is from this information that I gave you here, you know, and why he is trying to divorce his wife. I want to read to you the reasons that he stated. You know, I'm trying to get he said that since the marriage, the first respondent has behaved in such a way that the petitioner cannot reasonably be expected to live with her, that the first respondent has committed adultery with the second respondent since petitioner and the first respondent. So that's the marriage in the US that he's talking about, but then he has no proof. The first respondent has continuously abandoned or deserted her matrimonial home after 1 year preceding the institution of this suit. But he was the one that encouraged her to move to the US. But now he's saying she has abandoned her home rather. And then he's saying, obviously, there's here is the petitioner was born. That's Iginla was born on the 24th of May 1970 in Ekiti State, while the respondent was born on the 22nd day of May 1980 in Ekom, Cross River State. Now, in all this, you know, he got married to his first wife. Yemi see that is on the 22nd of April, 2006. 2006, 22nd of April. That is at the marriage registry in Monia at Alanyele local government area in Oyo State. Right? I'm just trying to go through some of this. And they have 3 kids from the marriage with Sharon Iginla, who is 13 years of age, Joshua Iginla, 9, and then Treasure Iginla. So here is the ground of dissolution, why he wants to dissolve the marriage. He said that since the marriage, the respondent has behaved in such a way that the petitioner cannot live with her, the The respondent has at several times fight, insult, assault, and abuse the right of the petitioner by constantly meting out inhuman treatment, both in public and private, in the manner that servitude to the petitioner. And then a whole lot of information. Now, one thing that really baffles me is here is his, remember he had said that his wife here, that my wife was impregnated by another man. He has said publicly, and so this is what the media picked, that another man impregnated his wife. Now, from the document that I have here, because that's a serious and damning allegation, but from the document that I have here that he submitted to the courts, he never included the fact that his wife committed adultery. His wife was impregnated by another man. That one of the 3 kids that she conceived for him is not his. He never mentioned that, because it's simple to go do a DNA test and then attach that way. But he made that public, but he never made this public. You see where the problem is. He never made this public. So there's a whole lot of, there's a huge problem around it in itself. There's a big problem around it itself. Well, he moved to Joburg. He lives in Johannesburg now because he wanted to build a big church here. It's not happening for him anyway, because South Africans are waking up. They're opening their eyes and seeing the truth and knowing that, look, this man is not of God. So the problem is now he's seen all that. And yeah, before I forget, actually, this is the same man who allegedly has a swimming pool in his church in Abuja, Nigeria. And this swimming pool is said to have a lot of healing powers, that when you pay a certain amount of money, when you go in, you're going to be healed. You're going to be blessed. Your problems are going to go away. You're going to prosper. Things are going to happen in this pool. This same man who is a charlatan, this same man who is a false prophet, this same man who have shown a lot of criminality in his life, this same man who is an adulterer, this same man who is in a polygamous relationship right now, because he has not divorced his first wife. Where is the proof? He has not. I've shown you the order, the court order that he once used to get his wife divorced. His wife refused to sign it because they are legally married. And in South Africa right now, this man is actually supposed to be arrested because he's in a polygamous civil marriage with 2 women, 1 Nigerian and 1 South African. So I don't have much to say about this guy. I just wanted to put this out there, just so whatever you hear about both of them. Would I say, I wouldn't say that his first wife, Yemisi, didn't do wrong. When he decided to ask her to move to the US so the kids could go to school there and have a better education, she agreed and she moved. Initially, she didn't want, but then she agreed and she moved. But the fact that she even accepted to get married to an American just so she can have a green card and be able to stay legally in the US, that in itself is a problem. That in itself is sin. That in itself showed the kind of leader that she is. It's a major problem. So, and when you get that, there's nothing you can do about it. So between the two of them, somewhere, somehow, there's some information that you and I do not even know. I mean, I might present this information to you based on investigations, but there's some issues and some things that you and I are not even familiar with. But this man is as charlatan as you can get. Drive big cars, live in big houses, on a private jet, and all that kind of stuff. But with all that, this is not a man. This is a man that you know from start to finish that he's not a man of God. And he showed that through his marriage, through his family, through his cheating, through his ways of witchcraft. And it's sad because a lot of people take this man serious. A lot of people, they go, they say they are prophets, they get information. They get information from people to prophesy. That's what they do. Some of these guys, you don't know how deep they've gone to be able to know things about you, to be able to get to prophesy. So because you know things about me and you don't know me and I never met you, so what? How is that supposed to impress me? Does that make you a prophet? Does that make you a man of God? No. You're doing all this, but then behind the scene, you've been married to this woman in 2014. Nobody knows. Only people that are close to you. You've been in a polygamous relationship and you're leading a big church, so-called church. No. No. You're not a man of God. You are evil. You don't belong to the pulpit. You should get out of the pulpit. Because the times of charlatans and false prophets is gone. Right now is time. The time is over. The time is over. That's what it is. The time is over. The time is over. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to talk about today. This is just the part one, and it's going to be part two where I'm going to bring more information around that. So I really appreciate your time. Again, if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, please go subscribe to YouTube. To the YouTube guys, I'm really sorry. YouTube is not connected today. I really have to find out what's going on. If I'm not able to connect, I wanted to really talk about pastors and snakes tomorrow. I had big guests, but if I'm not able to connect to YouTube, then I have to delay that broadcast or any other broadcast that I'm going to do until I'm able to sort out my YouTube. Just so, because the guys on YouTube, a lot of them are not even on Facebook, and they're really complaining, you know, and all that. So I want to be able to get a balance, just so everybody would be able to be able to have access to it. All right. So I'm just reading some of the comments that you guys are putting here. Okay, so the comment, yeah, there's no live on YouTube. Yeah, I know that YouTube is not connected. Yes, Evangelist Juliet, I noticed that. So if you don't see me coming live today, and sorry, tomorrow or next or this week, you just know that I'm trying to sort out the YouTube. The YouTube guys are not happy, you know, and I always love to do it simultaneously. That way is better. But there's so much that we could talk about. Even if I don't come around this week, I'll come around next week. As soon as we sort that out, then we're going to be able to do quite a lot, you know. And I think from next week, maybe I could actually do even some of the stuff. I don't have to wait until that evening. I wait until evening sometimes because of some of the guys that are watching from other countries, you know, but I could have it on YouTube, have it in the day, and then they can watch it later, isn't it? But they will miss all the comments and all that kind of stuff, sadly. But thank you, guys. God bless you. We are called to purity. We are called to question things, to investigate things. That's what Jesus called us to, not because we want to condemn, but because we want to live and do what is right. That's what is important. So thank you, guys. God bless you. Good evening to some of you, good night to some of you, and good morning to some of you, wherever you are. But please share this, and people who Go to some of these churches. You and I have a responsibility to really, share with them and to continue to help them to get out of these churches that are not churches, that are just cults, that are just, a den of thieves, a den of robbers, that are just, a place of witchcraft and wizards controlling it. That's what it is. That's just the way it is. There's no any other way I don't know any other way to call it, to be honest with you. But the time is up. Time is up. If you're a false prophet, fake pastor, you're watching me, your time is up. Your time is up. Not because I'm saying it, because God has said it. You can look at some of you guys. You can look at some of your guys that are all around, and you will see and you will know some of the false prophets, the way they're falling apart. And by the way, Bushiria here was in Ghana recently, I think the last 2 days. I think he went to try to visit his witch doctors to try to get some powers that would never work. There's nothing Bushiri would do that is going to alter and change. South Africa and his running away was just the beginning. His arrest here was just the beginning of his downfall totally. There's nothing he can do about it because God has said enough. Enough. Check one of my videos on YouTube, where I spoke about it a couple of months ago, 5 months ago. So where I say, look, Bushiri is not going to be able to last the next 3 years, 5 years in South Africa. It's not. His church is going to vamoose, disappear. Well, check it out on YouTube. You're going to see it. So wherever he goes to, he can go anywhere that he wants. His time is up. His time is up. If I was him, I was going to go look for something better to do. Maybe go sell cars or something. He's a good salesman. He sold lies to people. Thank you, guys. Somebody called Benny here. Everybody is saying I should block Benny. Okay, I will block Benny. You want me to block him? If you want me to block him, let me hear you. Let me see you, so I can just. He's a good salesman. He's a good salesman. So I can block him. Okay, I'm looking for Benny now. Benny, I'm coming for you. Because everybody is saying block Benny. Okay. Benny Tabe, right? Okay, he's gone. That's what we do to people who come around and try to disrespect people and not engage the topic. You can disagree all that you want, but do not come here and call people names and disrespect people. That's not what it is. You can go to your page, your Facebook page, and do that. That's better for you. So I blocked him, guys. I listened to you. So, but thank you, guys. God bless you. I will try to sort out YouTube and also to make sure it's synchronizing with Facebook. So if you don't see me post anything that I'm coming to do live, it means that I'm still trying to sort out and make sure both is synchronized. I'm not going to come live if if YouTube and Facebook are not together. Actually, we get more people on YouTube watching than we have on Facebook, to be honest with you. So I think it's only right that we sort that out. And there's a lot of people in YouTube, but they're not on Facebook. So even if it takes me 2 days, 3 days, 6 days, and not being able to sort it out, I'm going to be back, and we're going to there's quite a lot that we're going to talk about, and you're going to have it, and then we're just going to go on. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Wherever you are, please stay safe and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. God bless.